Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We always hear that to launch a startup.
You got to be some sort of tech genius, right?
Yeah, like some coding whiz kid in a hoodie.
Exactly,
We're
but
here to tell you that is so not true.
yeah,
We're Henry and Sarah,
that's right.
a tech couple,
Oh,
and we have learned a thing or two about building successful startups
without being coding wizards.
without being coding wizards. That's right.
Yeah, we found that the heart of it all isn't really the coding skills.
Right.
It's about understanding your customer,
Yeah, their needs, their pain points.
their pain points.
What are they struggling with? Like, what
What keeps them up at night?
keeps them up at night?
Yeah, and then building a solution.
That makes their lives easier or better or more fun or all of the above.
Exactly.
It's kind of like detective work in a way, right?
It is. You're gathering clues about your customer.
Yeah.
That their needs.
Yeah.
Their frustrations.
Their aspirations even.
Yes, and once you've kind of cracked the code
Right.
on what your customers truly want, you can start building a product
Uh-huh.
that solves a problem they actually care about.
I love that. Let me give you a real world example that I think people might find surprising.
Okay.
Think about Howard Schultz and the story of Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Familiar story.
Keep going.
Very familiar story. And, he wasn't a coffee roasting expert
Right.
when he started Starbucks,
Nope.
but he was a really keen observer of human behavior.
Yeah.
And what he saw
Mm-hmm.
was that people wanted more than just a cup of coffee.
Right.
They wanted like an experience,
They wanted a community.
a community
Yeah. A third place.
between work and home.
Exactly. And that's exactly what he created.
Exactly. And it's a brilliant example because it shows
Yeah.
that deep customer understanding is really the foundation
It is.
of any successful startup.
100%.
But once you have identified that need, how do you bring your idea to life?
Yes.
Especially if you don't code. That is the question. And this is where I think the concept of a minimum viable product or an MVP
Yes.
comes in this
Yes.
is such a game changer
Huge for non-technical founders.
for non-technical founders.
Yeah.
So an MVP is basically a bare bones version of your product, just enough to test the core idea.
Right. Without getting bogged down
Yeah.
in all the complex development.
You think of it like a prototype,
Yes. Exactly.
right? You wouldn't build an entire house
Right.
without making sure the foundation was solid first.
100%. An MVP is about validating your idea quickly and efficiently.
And here's the best part.
What's that?
There are these incredible tools out there
Oh, yeah.
that allow you to build MVPs without writing a single line of code.
It's amazing.
So platforms like WebSlow,
Yes.
Bubble Glide, they're all visual development platforms, kind of like digital Legos.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, you can create interactive prototypes, basic web apps, without needing to know any programming languages.
So let's say you're dreaming of building a marketplace that connects local farmers with consumers.
Okay.
You could use something like Webflow to whip up a basic website, create user profiles,
Wow.
list products. You could even simulate transactions,
Really?
all without touching any code.
That's like magic.
It is, and it allows you to get your idea in front of potential users so quickly.
Yes.
Gather that feedback
Invaluable feedback.
before investing tons of time and money into
Right.
building a full-fledged product.
Exactly, because you don't want to spend months or even years building something that nobody wants.
You don't, and building an MVP lets you test the waters, see if there's real demand,
Yeah.
and iterate based on real user feedback.
So you've nailed down the customer need,
Yeah.
you've built your slick MVP,
Yep.
and you've validated your idea. What's the next crucial piece of the puzzle?
Well, at some point, you're going to need some serious technical firepower
Yeah.
to take your startup to that next level.
To scale it.
And that's where finding the right technical co-founder
Yes. This is where it gets interesting.
really comes into play.
But I actually want to jump in here with an inspiring story. Have you heard of Melanie Perkins, the co-founder of Canva?
Of course, Canva is amazing.
It's incredible.
Design platform has taken the world by storm.
And you know what? She wasn't a technical whiz when she started.
Right.
She had this amazing vision for a user-friendly design platform that would empower anyone to create stunning visuals.
Yeah.
But she needed someone to bring that vision to life technically.
Right.
And so she went on a mission, pitching her idea to countless developers until she found Cameron Adams.
Yes.
This brilliant programmer who shared her passion, and together they built Canva
Wow.
into a global phenomenon.
It's a classic story of finding that perfect technical partner
It is.
to complement your skills and drive your vision forward.
But, I think a lot of people misunderstand what it really means to find the right non-technical co-founder.
Mm-hmm.
It's about so much more than just coding jobs.
So much more.
It's like finding a business partner for life.
Yeah, it's a huge decision.
Huge decision. And it's not just about finding someone who can, churn out code.
No, it's about shared values.
Yeah.
Complementary skills, a dynamic that just clicks.
It's got to click.
Has to.
You need someone who understands your why,
Yes.
who's as passionate about solving the problem as you are.
100% someone who gets your vision
Yeah.
and is excited to bring their technical expertise
To the table.
to make it a reality.
Yeah, I like to think of it as a perfect blend of like left brain, right brain.
Yeah.
You've got the non-technical founder who brings that creative vision, the customer understanding,
Right.
the market savvy, and then you've got the technical co-founder who brings the engineering prowess,
Yeah.
the ability to actually translate those ideas into a functional product.
That's a great analogy.
And when those two forces come together,
In harmony.
yeah, the magic happens.
That's when the magic happens. But even with an amazing technical co-founder on board, I
Yeah.
think it's still super important for non-technical founders to have at least a basic understanding of technology.
I agree with that you don't need to become a coding guru overnight.
Yeah, you don't.
But grasping the fundamental concepts can be so helpful.
Things like understanding the different programming languages,
Okay.
knowing a bit about app architecture, having a grasp of the development process.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be super deep,
Right.
but just enough to be able to communicate effectively
Exactly.
with your tech team.
It's about speaking the same language,
Yes,
understanding the challenges they face,
100%.
and ultimately making informed decisions together.
Together, it also shows your tech team
Yeah.
that you're invested in their world,
Yeah.
that you respect their expertise.
And that respect goes a long way, I think,
It does.
in building a strong foundation.
It fosters trust,
Yeah.
collaboration,
Which are essential.
which are
This.
key ingredients for success. And the good news is
What's that?
there's no shortage of resources available for non-technical founders who
yeah.
want to level up their tech knowledge.
Totally. Online platforms like Codecademy, Coursera offer these fantastic courses.
Yeah.
You find tons of tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is amazing for that.
It's amazing. Learning the basics has never been easier.
Never been easier. Learning is an ongoing journey,
Always.
especially in the world of technology. But
Yeah.
let's shift gears a bit
Yep.
and talk about the non-technical side
Uh,
of building a startup.
I like this.
The areas where non-technical founders can truly shine.
Okay, so tell me about those superpowers that non-technical founders bring to the table.
Okay, so while your technical co-founder is laser focused
Yeah.
on the nuts and bolts of development, you can really focus on crafting the heart and soul of the business.
I love that.
Yeah. So that means building a compelling brand identity,
Okay.
defining your target audience with laser focus, and weaving a powerful narrative that resonates with your customers.
So it's about connecting with people on an emotional level, going beyond just the features and functionality.
Exactly. It's about understanding the why
Or why.
behind your product
Yeah.
and communicating that why in a way that makes people feel something.
Mm-hmm.
It's about building a brand that people love, trust, and connect with on a deeper level.
I love that. That reminds me of Brian Chesky,
Okay.
the co-founder of Airbnb.
Yeah.
He's a designer by background, not a developer.
Right.
But he used his creative skills to craft this incredible user experience
Yes.
and build a brand that tapped into a really deep human need,
What's that?
the need for belonging.
The need for belonging.
While his technical team focused on building the platform's functionality,
Right.
Chesky focused on cultivating a sense of community and trust.
Yeah, he understood people weren't just looking for a place to stay.
Right.
They were looking for authentic experiences and connections.
He totally brought a unique perspective
He did.
and skill set to the table.
Ac-
And that played a huge role in Airbnb's success.
And that's a key takeaway for any non-technical founder.
Yeah.
Your ability to connect with people, to communicate your vision,
Yeah?
to build a community around your brand. Those are invaluable assets in the startup world.
They're priceless.
They are.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the, exciting parts of building a startup, the vision, the product, the team.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get real for a minute.
Hmm.
Building a startup, especially without a tech background, isn't always easy.
It's not always a walk in the park, right?
Yeah, there are going to be moments of doubt, times when you question your abilities, especially when you're surrounded by, all these tech wizards.
Yeah, you might face some skepticism from investors who wonder
Right.
if you can really lead a tech company without knowing how to code.
Yeah, it can feel pretty intimidating at times. Like, am I really cut out for this? Do I even belong in this world.
It's totally natural to feel that way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Embrace those challenges.
Okay.
Don't let them derail you.
Don't let them stop you.
See them as opportunities to learn and grow.
So it's all about having that growth mindset.
100%. It's about being open to new ideas, willing to learn from your mistakes, and constantly expanding your skill set.
Yeah.
You know, the best founders are learners, first and foremost.
They are.
They're always curious, always seeking knowledge, always adapting to the ever-changing landscape of the startup world.
Makes sense. But sometimes it feels like everyone is speaking a different language.
Right.
How do you bridge that gap when you're not fluent in, tech speak?
Well, as we discussed earlier, getting a basic understanding of the technology is definitely helpful.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's about asking the right questions,
Ah.
listening carefully,
Yeah.
and not being afraid to say, hey,
Mhm.
can you explain that in a way that I can understand?
So being humble, being willing to admit what you don't know,
Yes.
being open to learning from the experts around you.
Exactly. And remember, your tech team, they want to see you succeed. They want you to understand what they're doing and why it matters. So don't hesitate to ask for clarification,
Yeah.
to challenge assumptions, and just make sure everyone's on the same page.
That's really reassuring. But what about investors? I mean, do you think they see non-technical founders as a liability?
You know, here's the thing. Investors are ultimately looking for one thing:
What's
a
that?
great business
Okay.
with massive potential. And that potential can come from a variety of sources.
Yeah.
Sure, technical expertise is important, but it's not the only factor.
Okay, so what else are investors looking for?
They're looking for a strong team, a compelling vision, and a deep understanding of the market.
Okay.
They want to see that you've identified a real problem, that you have a solution that people actually want,
Uh-huh.
and that you have a solid plan for execution.
And that you're passionate and driven to make it happen.
Absolutely. Passionate, contagious investors want to see that fire in your eyes.
Right.
They want to believe in your story and the problem that you're solving.
It sounds like the non-technical founder plays a really crucial role in that storytelling aspect.
They do, for sure. You're the one who brings the human element to the equation.
Yeah.
You can articulate the problem in a way that resonates with people. You can paint a picture of the future you're creating,
Uh-huh.
and you can inspire others to join you on that journey.
So even if you can't write code, you can still be the driving force behind the vision, the brand, the overall narrative of the startup.
Exactly. And that's incredibly powerful. In fact, I'd argue that those skills are just as important, if not more important,
Right.
than coding skills when it comes to building a successful startup.
So it's not just about building a product, it's about building a movement.
I love that way of putting it. It's about inspiring people, rallying them around a common cause, and creating something that has a real impact on the world.
Now let's talk about another area where I think non-technical founders can truly shine: marketing and sales. I mean, these are areas that are all about connecting with people, building relationships, telling stories.
Right. You don't need to know how to code to understand your customers' needs,
Yeah.
to craft compelling marketing messages, or to build a sales process that converts.
In fact, I think non-technical founders often have an advantage in these areas because they're naturally more attuned to the human side of things.
That's a great point. They can bring empathy, intuition,
Right.
a deep understanding of human psychology to the table. They can put themselves in the customer's shoes, understand their pain points,
Yes.
and communicate the value of the product in a way that resonates.
So while your technical co-founder is focused on building the engine of the car,
Yes.
you're focused on steering it in the right direction and getting people excited to ride along.
That's a perfect analogy. And remember, you don't have to do it all alone. There are tons of amazing resources and tools available to help you with marketing and sales.
So many.
Everything from email marketing platforms to social media management tools to CRM systems.
It's about leveraging those tools, building a strong team, and focusing on your strengths.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things and see what works best for your business.
Yeah.
Marketing and sales are all about iteration and continuous improvement.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's one more big piece of the puzzle that I want to address: fundraising. This can feel like a really daunting task,
I know.
especially for non-technical founders.
I know what you mean. It's easy to get caught up in the fear that investors will only back founders who can code. But I want to challenge that assumption.
Okay.
In my experience, investors are much more interested in the overall potential of the business than the technical skills of the founder.
So what are investors really looking for when they're evaluating a startup?
They want to see a viable business model,
Okay.
A strong team and a clear understanding of the market. They want to believe in your vision and your ability to execute.
It sounds like they're looking for a well-rounded team where everyone brings their unique strengths to the table.
Exactly, and that's where the partnership between the non-technical and technical founders really shines. You can complement each other's skills, present a united front, and demonstrate that you have all the bases covered.
But let's be honest, fundraising can be nerve-wracking. How do you project confidence and convince investors that you're the right person to lead this company, even if you can't code?
It all comes down to preparation practice
Okay.
and a deep understanding of your business. You need to be able to articulate your vision, clearly explain your market opportunity in a compelling way, and showcase your team's strengths.
So it's about being able to tell a good story.
Absolutely. Investors are looking for stories that captivate them, that make them believe in the potential of your idea. And you, as the non-technical founder, are often the best storyteller on the team.
Interesting.
You can connect with investors on an emotional level, paint a vivid picture of the future you're creating, and inspire them to join you on the journey.
But it's not just about telling a good story, right? You also need to have the numbers to back it up.
That's right. You need to demonstrate that you've done your homework, that you understand the market, that you have a solid financial plan.
And most importantly, that you're passionate about solving this problem and building a successful business.
Right. Investors are looking for founders who are driven, resourceful, and resilient. They want to see that you're in it for the long haul, that you're not going to give up at the first sign of a challenge.
So it's about more than just the idea. It's about the execution and the unwavering belief in what you're building.
Exactly. And remember, confidence is key. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Believe in your vision and believe in your team. That belief will shine through and it will be contagious.
That's inspiring. So even if you can't code, you can still be a fundraising powerhouse.
You can.
It's all about focusing on your strengths, building a solid team, and telling a story that investors just can't resist.
Exactly.
Wow, we have covered so much ground today, from identifying those customer needs to building those MVPs,
Yeah.
to finding that perfect technical co-founder. We've talked about branding, marketing, sales,
Even the daunting world of fundraising.
even fundraising.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
But it all boils down to the simple truth. Okay. Building a startup with no technical background might seem like an uphill battle. It's absolutely possible.
It is. And you know what? In many ways, your non-technical background can actually be your superpower.
I love that it forces you to focus on the things that truly matter. Understanding your customers, building a rock-solid team,
Yes.
and crafting a narrative that resonates with the world.
Those are the foundations
Yeah.
of any successful business.
100%.
Coding or no coding, those elements are essential.
Absolutely.
So if you're sitting there with a brilliant idea burning inside you, but you're feeling held back because you don't know how to code,
Yeah.
I want you to take a deep breath and let go of that fear.
Let it go. Your unique skills, your experiences, your perspective.
Yeah,
Those are the secret sauce that will make your startup stand out from the crowd.
I love that.
Embrace those non-technical strengths. They're what will make you a truly exceptional founder.
So like we said earlier, you don't have to be the one building the engine. Your strength might be in designing the car, marketing it to the world, or even being the one behind the wheel, driving it to success.
That's such a great way to put it. And remember,
Yeah.
the world needs your ideas. It needs your creativity. It needs your passion. And it needs your unique perspective.
That's right.
So don't hold back. Embrace your non-technical brilliance and go out there and make your mark.
We believe in you, and we can't wait to see what you create.
I can't wait. And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of startups.
Yes.
For non-technical founders, we hope you found it insightful, encouraging,
And inspiring.
and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
A little bit.
Remember, building a startup is a journey,
It is.
not a sprint.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of pure exhilaration.
But it's also one of the most rewarding experiences you can have.
It is.
So take that first step. Believe in yourself, surround yourself with amazing people, and never, ever give up on your dreams.
Never give
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.